Hello, this is a demo regarding Sybase Data Server Enterprise into Postgres database conversion using SQL ASE tool. So first of all, I would like to mention that our company Sybase Systems has been working for many years on database and application migration markets and provides tools, facilities, and services for database and application conversion. In this demo, I will show you the way our tools, with graphical user interfaces, work with source database, with Sybase, and how do they convert the Sybase syntax into Postgres syntax. Please make a note that this is a pure SQL conversion solution. No emulation is provided here. So, first tool that I would like to mention is SQL ASE Wizard that you can see on the screen. When you first start, so you get into welcome to the SQL ASE Wizard page. Here you can specify the license information or order the license online using the buttons provided. And there is an option where you can specify the project directory. So this is actually the directory where project files like XML file and INI file reside with all the options, all the identifier mappings, data mappings, and etc. for Sybase to Postgres database conversion. So you can provide here or leave it as is. The default is the export directory in installation directory of SQL ASE. Okay, now let's move forward. On the Choose Store database page, you can see that you can specify a user system DSN for the connection or create a new one. This is the ODBC. This is the ODBC. So you need for Sybase as a source, you need to specify the ODBC connection, and you need to provide an ODBC driver, include the ODBC driver or client, Sybase client, on your computer. And as for target database, our tool works with Postgres using PostgreSQL tool. That is a native tool that allows doing the DDL and data load into Postgres database. Also, you can see that you can specify a file DSN name. You need to specify the username and the password. And so we are using safe password here, just in order to save this information in the project directory and not inputting it once again. On the Choose the Target Database page, as you can see, you need to specify a target database. This is Postgres in the list of the provided databases. The version, if it is required, so we can provide 9.1. The host name, the database name, the port, if there are several databases, several instances of Postgres database are installed on a host, the username and the password. So there are options like save password, and on the advanced page you can find a bin directory specification option. So here you need to specify the directory where the PostgreSQL tool actually installed. There is a create table with OIDs option that all that it does actually it provides the with OIDs clause to each create table statement. Usually it is done for this conversion is required, this option required for Oracle to Postgres conversion, as in Oracle there is a row ID hidden column that can be used as an equivalent of OIDs in Postgres database. Also, you can see tables and indexes for table spaces. The table spaces for tables and indexes can be provided, or the source table space names can be used. Okay, let's go next. On the specified database objects or query page, you can see the list of the objects extracted from the source database. Each object type contains a set of schema or users in Postgres database. In Sybase, sorry. And so you can choose all of them by just drag and drop from source to target, or you can specify one by one the objects that require the conversion. So after specifying the objects for conversion, you can see that the number of objects is supported for Sybase to Postgres database conversion in our tool, like tables, use, stored procedures, functions, triggers, and user-defined ICE. And I've already specified all of them as I'm using a project file. I have a set of objects that have already been selected for me here. So I can go next. There's one more option actually that I can show you. This is a filtering option that can help you in selecting the objects for conversion. You can provide, for example, all the objects that start from T. So you can go to an object list and can find that all the objects that start from T are specified here. Or you can change it to minimize the number of objects. And you can see, so only objects that contain TA are specified here. Or we can use TA star sign to specify only those that start with TA. You can see here. Okay, so this is a filtering option. It uses like expression for object specification. So you can use it in your selections of objects for conversion. Okay, so let's move next. On specified DDL and data options page, actually this is a page where there are lots of different options that can be specified, that can be used for Sybase enterprise version to Postgres database. So, and then here I would like to mention just a few of them. Please make a note that if you need any option and or some specific conversion is required in your migration project, and you don't know how to implement this option or how to use our tool, how to tune our tool to make this specific conversion, please turn to us with your requests so that we could provide you the information about whether we already have this option or we need to add it, and how much time is required to add this option to our tool for you. The option that I would like to mention is actually generating drop table statement option that allows you generating drop table statements for tables. On each rerun of the import into the target database, you don't have to drop the tables manually, so it will be made automatically in SQL scripts. And this schema names and SQL scripts option that controls the way the schema name is converted from source to target. If it is specified as a default, then schema names all except for DBO from Sybase are converted into Postgres. DBO schema is removed during the conversion. If you specify as no, then all the schemas are left as is into Postgres database. So you have to create the same schema in Postgres in order to be able to load the objects into Postgres database. And if you specify yes, then no schema names are converted. All of them are trimmed off from the conversion, from the identifier names. And so in this case, all the objects are created in the default schema in Postgres database. Also, I would like to mention that actually we have several options for schema and database names conversion from Sybase to Postgres. So they can be specified in INI file separately and can control the way these names are used in target database. For example, if you have several Sybase databases, if you would like to convert into one Postgres database with several schemas, and the Sybase database name should be the same as Postgres schema name, and Sybase schema names need to be converted into the somehow let's add it to the names of the objects in Postgres database. So this can be performed using our INI options, a set of INI options that control this conversion. Also, let me show you a few more things like our tool resolves the resource words conversion automatically conflicts. So whenever SQL Waste tool traps into a reserved word full Postgres database, it includes identifier in double quotes, so it makes it delimit the identifier for full Postgres database. There's an option like use a variable prefix especially for transaction scale statement conversion to other databases like Postgres, Greenplum, and etc. So this feature is required as it replaces the @ that is used in the parameters, variables, in transaction scale statements with the symbol or with the prefix that you specify here. The V and the line is the default prefix. Also, I would like to mention options that can help you in doing the testing conversion and data type mapping conversion. So there's a global data type mapping and a local data type mapping in our tool. Global data type mapping is applied to the whole database, and you can see it here, so you can change it while tuning the conversion. And local data type mapping can be found when you click one of the tables, go to DDL options, and here you can set target types that you can change for exact column in an exact table. And local data type mapping has a higher priority than global data type mapping. You can change the names of the tables and other objects actually used in storage procedures when doing the conversion. And there's two more options that I would like to mention. Is that actually in our tool you can separate the data and DDL conversion from Sybase to Postgres. And to do this, for example, to make the conversion of data only, you can uncheck generate DDL. So in this case, only data will be converted from source to target database. On the data options page, there is an export data option that you can uncheck, and in this case, only DDL is converted from source to target. So you can, for example, you have lots of data in the source database and Sybase. You can uncheck export data and check the schema conversion only from source to target database. And then convert the data and check the business logic in Postgres database by just calling some procedures, functions, making selects from views and etc. to be aware that the conversion is performed correctly. Okay, let's move next. On the Specify Export File Options page, our tool provides the opportunity to specify the export directory where actually all the generated files are reside. Our tool uses this intermediate repository as the export directory to store the objects, to store the data, converted data prepared for being loaded in Postgres database, and generate a set of batch or shell scripts depending on the target system that you specify, operational system, Windows or Unix. And so there's also a set of commands for PostgreSQL tool execution and copy commands for data loading in Postgres database. There's an option run in trace mode that in addition to generating SQL trace file that helps in fixing different bugs with database conversion, export conversions, and etc. And it just adds the source, commented source to each SQL file for each object. I'll show you how it works, so I selected it for this demo. Okay, let's move next. On Specify Import Options page, here is where we can specify the way we are going to do the import into Postgres database. As Postgres can run on Windows and on Unix operational systems, so we can use two options here to generate batch scripts using the Windows system or Unix shell scripts using Unix system. So the difference is that between the import to local or remote target database will be executed from the local system, and on the remote system is that after generating those scripts or shell scripts or batch scripts, using the second option you have to transfer the files manually to the location from which there will be initiated an import into the Postgres database. And as for the first option, as soon as you have a physical tool and the client installed on your current computer and your Windows system, you can use this option to do the immediate run of the import in the Postgres database. Which option to use is for you to decide. Let's move next. This is a review the selections page. Just some information is provided here regarding the conversion that you are going to perform. And we can go next. So at this point, our tool connects using the ODBC connection, connects to the Sybase database. And you can see that this is the SQL Sybase 12.5 version, and extracts all the information from this database. Then build the SQL statements, process them using our special pattern technology, and convert them to SQL statements for Postgres database. So the technology provided in our tool actually makes the conversion tuning quite flexible, extremely flexible, I would say. And the strength of our tool, SQL ASE tool, is the conversion of any particular project can be automated, can be tuned for automatic conversion as much as possible. So usually we are trying to achieve 100% of automation for each particular project. So you can see that the conversion process has ended. There are no errors. no export errors, no import errors. So in our tool, there are two log files generated. First one is for export. When we go to the export, we can find SQL log file. This is practically the same information as in SQL wizard. Just the difference is that you can find more information regarding the total amount of memory necessary used for the conversion, total amount of lines of code, and for each object group you can find the same information like the number of lines of code in each section. And the SQL IMP log. As for import, actually SQL doesn't control the import process, so all it does is just initiate the import of all the initiate the run of all the batch files created one by one into Postgres database using PostgreSQL tool. And whenever there is an error or notice or warning, so returned by the server, our tool just collects this information and stores them in SQL IMP log file. So all the errors that you will see here are the errors returned by Postgres server for the import process. And there's one more file created called SQL report HTML file. This is the file that contains information about the export process. It just has a little bit enhanced view from the point of readability. You can see all the objects in table form, the status for them, the number of the size of the data exported, the number of rows exported, for views, for storage procedures, for triggers, the number of lines of code, for user-defined task conversion. And whenever there are any changes in identifiers were made, so they are also provided here in the additional table at the end of the file. So we can review the batch files created just to give you an idea how it works. So it's quite simple, everything is quite simple. PostgreSQL tool is used. The SQL file is provided to PostgreSQL tool, and the outcome messages from server are stored in the log file. For DDL, there is added data loading. Here it is. So you can see the file LDI that actually contains the copy command for data load in Postgres. We're using, as a default, we're using UTF encoding, UTF-8, just in order to make sure that all the possible data, national language, and etc. Were converted correctly and imported in Postgres database correctly. So I need to note that our tool, when doing the export and doing the conversion of the source scripts, of the source objects from Sybase, builds all the dependencies between the objects. So when creating a SQL with all batch file, this is the common file for the whole conversion, for the whole import process, it organizes the batch files load in the way the objects reference each other. So there shouldn't be any the table doesn't exist or something like that when using our tool. If all the objects are created one by one correctly in Postgres database. So we can review a few conversions just to give you the idea how the SQL conversion works in our tool. So, for example, we can see the trigger conversion. So there's a trigger, you can see it here, for insert, that makes a declaration of time variables, then selects a set of value, assigning a value to a variable, insert into a table some select statements, then make a select from table and insert it. You can see here inserted is used. Again, there is insert select from inserted. And one more time, inserted is used here. So, as Postgres uses for each row triggers, so instead of inserted tables that are used in PostgreSQL like SQL Server or Sybase enterprise versions, in Postgres we are using new and old specificators. For inserted, new is used, and for deleted, old is used. So first of all, I would like to draw attention to a thing that the trigger function is created first of all, and then only a trigger for this trigger function is created. So here is provided that after insert trigger is created for insert trigger, and all the business logic in a trigger function is the following. So a temporary table is created with the exception to truncate the result. Then the insert is made for each row inserted into the table. Then you can see a block of statements, the declare statement, then assignment operation, insert statement, but no inserted is used, so there is used inst trigger. Update is used, but instead of inserted, inst for trigger is used, where there are current values stored. And that is, so this is a business logic conversion for trigger statements in our tool. There are other examples, like you can see here, that sometimes it's not required to use inserted additional temporary table for inserted. So we can use if only from deleted, for example, like here is used. So we can just use all here and don't have to create a temporary tables for such cases. So, and for SQL status, we are using like a workaround that allows specifying the base status depending on the found clause here, found option. You can see here. So instead of raise error, we are using raise notice statements, raise exception statements. Instead of clean statements, we are using raise notice statements in Postgres database. So, and for row count, you can see that we are using get diagnostic statements for Postgres database. Let's see maybe a little bit of stored procedures. For example, we have a stored procedure with select into statement and a result set return statement here. You can see. So from these two tables. So for Postgres, our conversion is to create two global temporary tables, and then just return a query. You can see, so this is a quite simple solution for such case. So, and of course, in this case, we need to provide result set type, and the function needs to provide a set of, need to return set off of this result set to have an opportunity to return the result set from such stored procedure. When there is one result set, so we have just return set off, again the same solution, and make a select from the same temporary table. For a simple select statement inside, you can see this is just a return query with a select inside, and set off is used with the result set specificator of the result set type. So and so on and so forth. So the conversion, as you can see, is quite. So first of all, it's not emulation. We're trying to achieve the same result in business logic conversion using SQL statement in Postgres database. So you can see that simple select again is converted into a return statement. Is now conversion is replaced with collect function. Simple select is converted into a return select statement. Return query, and the same as here. Here you can see actually, so when doing the conversion of some expressions that are returned by some select statements, like you can see here. So whenever our tool traps into such cases, when doing the conversion, it's required to have all the information about the object being converted. So here we can explicitly see that the concatenation is provided. But if this part is changed to some column, for example, and we don't know the data types of the columns provided here, then no appropriate conversion can be provided here. Our tool will just freeze all class signs as is. But if we are doing the conversion with the connection to the database, or we can provide additional information for script conversion in table.dbl SQL file, for example. So our tool can identify which data types these columns are, and how to convert these class signs from Sybase to Postgres database, whether these are concatenation operations or summary operation. So there's quite a good amount of features that are provided by our tool for the conversion. You can see that data types are converted into domains in Sybase database. So all the possible conversions are applied here. So, and in addition, I can say that actually Postgres is quite a developed database It supports object types like an Oracle database, so it supports several features for error processing and the result set return the way it is returned from SQL Server or Sybase databases. So there's quite a good chance of doing the conversion automatically using our tool without manual intervention or without manual fixes for the result conversion. So in addition to the database conversion, our company also provides tools that make the script conversion from Sybase to Postgres. These are SQL Studio and SQL commands that you can see on your screens. So the difference between these tools is that the SQL commander that you can see on your screens can convert several scripts at a time. So you can just find the folder where the object resides, or just go to a specific folder and choose several files for conversion. And you can simply, by specifying the source and target, can simply run the conversion. So let's specify the form and just run the conversion into target 1 folder. You can see that you can provide a file mask if you have files with different extensions there that you would like to convert specific files with specific extensions, like SQL, for example. So you can provide a file mask here and run the conversion. So the whole process is provided at the bottom of the page of the SQL commander. And you can see that 0 files were failed during the conversion. And you can go to source, to target converted, to each folder, and can compare the source and target in one tool. Just see the source. There's the for update trigger with an update statement inside that uses from inserted. When there's a conversion, our tool creates a function that just makes a step from all the statements, because it works for each row. So instead of for each statement like in the source database. And then a create trigger statement is provided for before update is used instead of for update, as you can see here. So we can use more examples for procedures. You can see the PID conversion. There's a PG backend PID in Postgres database, so we are using it for PID equivalent in Postgres database. There is some stored procedure execution statement conversion. Like you can see that the return value is executed, the return value specification and assignment from a stored procedure is provided here. So to do the same in Postgres database, you have to make a select into a variable from the stored procedure. So this is the way how it can be handled in Postgres database. Also, you can see as this is a stored procedure in Sybase, so when doing the conversion to Postgres, we are converting it into a function first of all, that returns void. So also is no operation, is no function conversion. sorted to call. So there are lots of examples that can be provided for this conversion. You can see that there is a message is stored, error message is stored in variable, and then raise error is provided in Sybase database initiated. So the same thing can be made inside the Postgres. You just provide the error message to a variable, set it, and then make a raise exception for this message. In Postgres database. So we are trying to achieve as much of the automation as possible for our tools. And as for Studio, so as I already said, it can be run for one script at a time conversion only. But actually, in one script, you can provide a set of create procedure statements. Yes, so you can generate a file from a Sybase in Sybase Central, in Sybase Data Server Enterprise, from the database that you have, and then convert it in a SQL Studio as one file from Sybase to Postgres database. So this feature is supported in Oracle. Also, I'd like to mention one more thing, in that, especially for cases when our tool requires additional information about the business logic being converted, about the tables that are used inside, for example, their data types, and etc. There's added a special feature, connection options, where you can specify the source database ODBC DSM, the username and the password. So if you provide this information, then when doing the conversion of business logic, you don't have to extract the table, the DDL statements of the table in the source database and store them in a separate file, then provide for the script conversion process for our tools, script tools. Our tool will just find all the required information in the database using the ODBC connection, and then convert the business logic appropriately from source to target database. So please make a note of all this information. And for now, this is all I have to, all the information that I have for you. Please, if you have any requests or regarding the new features that you would like to add for this particular conversion, you're welcome. Just turn to us using support@aspire.com, or just go to our site www.aspire.com and send us your requests. We can show you demos that can be built on your source examples for your particular source to target direction. Thank you very much for your time, and bye.